and welcome to another video. This is actually going to be your last video for the month of January because the next video will be your collage sheets, which means it will be a new month. But I thought, and back by popular demand, we are going to explore couchBAG version 2.0. Now, if you're new around here, I did a series on a couchBAG last year where I streamlined my supplies into a small bag. Let me see if I can see couchBAG 2.0, although I must have put it somewhere. Anyway, the monster bag is around in the studio somewhere because it wasn't one that got the chop because I love it way too much. But now I need to stop looking for it. But I want to bring it back, and that is because, one, it was very, very good to see if you could create with minimal supplies, because I know we get a lot of stress and anxiety over what to pick, especially if you have a lot of supplies. Now, I discovered this during One Book July a few years ago when I participated, that when I streamlined my stuff very, very minimally, I had more creating than I did choosing. And that was because I wasn't overwhelmed by all the stuff that I had. I knew what I had and what I could use, and so I didn't waste time picking something. So this is kind of not my take on that, but the couchBAG was definitely to show you that you can art and create with very minimal supplies and do very well doing so. And I also wanted to tie it into the week in a life of a journal keeper, which is another series I'm also bringing back. So I'm going to be creating for a week straight and filming for you guys, and that will be your first video in January after your collage sheet. So after collage sheet day, the next video will be a week in the life of a journal keeper. And I thought I would tie these two projects together so you can actually see me create for a whole week out of the couchBAG. So normally I would create a whole month and you'd see snippets, thank you plane, snippets of bits and pieces, but I thought it would be great to see how I would create for a whole week for a week in the life of a journal keeper out of my couchBAG. And I also will obviously continue through the month of February just to show you and stuff like that, but I wanted to do an exclusive week of creating that you could see how I create in my journal using unlimited supplies. Now that means that all my carriers will be emptied. Obviously I've got bits and pieces everywhere. It means that I don't get to use my beautiful Sendak, which arrived finally yesterday after being in the postal service for over a month. So I don't even get to break this open. So I'm not going to talk about this today because there's no point. We are focusing on couchBAG. So that is getting put away for another video. And I've also got my colored pencils inside this one, so I'll get rid of all the stuff out of here. And today's couchBAG is actually the case that I bought last year, and I showed a sneak peek of it in a video for you guys, and then you never saw it again, and that is purely because I actually never got a chance to use it. I had all these hopes and dreams of it being a travel art bag, and then I never went out to art because I'm full. So I decided in the year of use it or lose it, I'm going to either test this out or it'll be on the chopping block to be sold. It is stunning and I absolutely adore it, and I absolutely adore that it pops open like this, and so I thought that I would use it as my couchBAG for 2018. I've been testing it out. I actually took it to crop night the other night to see how it would fare, and it did pretty well. There goes a paintbrush. But I wanted to make sure that I was making a good decision by keeping it in my life, or it was just staying in my life because it was a beautiful leather piece of item, a beautiful leather item. So I want to give it a real test as a couchBAG and see if it will fare very well to holding a limited amount of supplies. Now also, this compared to my old couchBAG, there's a big size difference. I could fit way more in my monster bag, so I'm kind of doing it also because I want to be very limited and show you guys that you can create, or what I can create on a very limited amount of supplies. It still fits quite a bit. I'm not going to lie that, you know, I can't only fit like 4 things in as opposed to, you know, 50, but I'll get a decent amount of things that I think will be good, and then I'll use those and those alone. Collage elements, so paper and things like that, I'm not counting in here. I mean, because I have it all in my drawers and things now. So collage stuff, this is just art supplies. Although I use my collage sheet papers and stuff as an art supply, it's not something I'm talking about, like physical art supplies. If you think that's cheating, tell me, and I will then grab one of my pouches and put collage fodder in there. But I need paper to live, people. I need paper to live. So obviously I'm going to pop my cloth in here. Now keep in mind that this folds up this way, so I need to keep in mind about that when packing this thing. I am packing my watercolor palette as usual. This is already very, very limited, and you guys know what is in there. I could have changed all my colors out to try and be a little bit adventurous, but this is my ride or die. So ride or die is going in there. Now I've got stuff in every pencil case I can think of. So in here I'm going to put my eraser because I'm always going to be drawing, and I'm going to put my glue stick and a tape runner in there because I like to have dry and wet glue. My pink pencil is going in there. So I got, actually, there's one lead in there, so I may have to put some lead in there. And what else is from here? Let's see. I am going to actually put in my normal grey pencil. This is the Mab Grave ones that Marley got for me, that I've been hunting all the other colours. So if you know, help a girl out because I'm still searching. My sprocket is going in there because I do use my sprocket quite a bit. Actually, I should move this to the center and have all my other stuff out of camera so you guys can actually see. And it is quite dark here, even though it's like hot as heck. There is not much sun in the studio today, so I do have a big light on. So let's do that, shall we? So I should pack it sort of like this so it closes nicely, but I am also stuffing a palette in there. I include that as a supply. I think that is very much a supply. One washi tape. So it's like I have a new one of this coming. Like I ordered it, so it will get replaced because I think I've got like 3 rounds left on there. As you can see, I use it a lot. I've also only got a tiny bit of this one left, so I guess I'll use that one too. My date stamp, and these are, as you can see, from what I'm packing in here, very, very similar to supply documentation. Now this video won over supply documentation, which means the supply documentation video will be filmed for YouTube, as I'm going to alternate months on here and on YouTube. So you guys will get to see it all because you are on Patreon, but the YouTube community will get to see every other month. So because couchBAG2 supply documentation will start on YouTube and you guys will get February. Let's see. My pink fountain pen, because my yellow one is sadly out of use at the moment till I buy a replacement nib, and that's not going to happen this month due to finances. I am going to also pop in a white pen. Let me just make sure that this is a white pen that actually works, because I have a couple of duds that I should probably get rid of. Now, I'm going to be very selective also. Oh my goodness me, dropping paintbrushes left, right and center. I'm going to be selective with what paintbrushes I actually put in here. I could be like really cheeky and just drop them all in, but that's not in the nature of this. So I'm going to put in my 2 because that is my 2 or my 4. My 4 was my first one. Let's put my 4 in, and these are my Rosemary & Co brushes that I got. So I got some fluffy ones, a mop one, and then I got a angled one. I think I might put my angled one in. And then I'm going to put, what number is that? It's an 8. And that's a 6. So 4. I'm going to do an 8. So I've got 3 brushes in there. The rest will get popped away. And coloured pencils, because I do use quite a few coloured pencils in my work, but I can't obviously take all of them. So these are the ones that I've been sort of dragging around with me. Is that it? Yeah. So this is my hot pink one, obviously, and it's staying. Some creams. These are actually watercolor pencils, these ones. Grey. Oh man, it's like picking children. Dark blue. Right. I need to find an elastic band to put these in so they don't like run around like crazy. I could take the one out of my hair, but I'm not. Alright, let's just put them in here for now. But they are the pencils that I am putting in there. We're filling up. I've probably only got enough room for a few more things, and then it's over Red Rover. I don't have any liner pens in there, do I? Yeah. So I have a grey, my 3. Okay. I'm going to put my 2 rulers in there because I obviously can't fit my stencils like last time. I've got a maroon, my wine, my grey, and my navy in my Copic multi-liner, and then the multi-ball, as well as my fountain pen. And ink to re-ink my fountain pen is not going in there because there's no way I'm putting a bottle of ink inside this leather duva. It's not happening. And I will put in I'm picking Zig Clean Color Real brushes and a couple of my Faber-Castell Pitt pens. That's what you are listening to me do, because I do really like them. Alright, there we go. And my Pilot Pereira, because I like using them in my sketchbook. Got an eraser, got a palette. Let's see how we're going. Let's see if we can close this and if I have room to go more, or if I'm kidding myself. So these stick in like so. Oh man. But one, oh, you know you want to go in. You know you want to go in. Eh. Oh, that is pretty hefty. So I think I am at limit capacity. The only thing I haven't popped in is my scissors, which I might pop in my small ones in the side there, because I don't have my guard for my scissors anymore. They're way old. So my scissors are there, but they're not inside because I don't want to stab it. At least this has got a guard on it. I've still got the guard somehow. But yes, those are the things that are in my couch bag currently. So things that I've left out are some of my different nibs, obviously all this, a lot of liner pens, mechanical pencils, obviously my bigger palette of watercolors, and all these spare pencils that I've been toting around. I've got my pink pencil. I just need to add lead to my pink pencil because it's almost out of lead. Haven't included any water brush pens or anything like that. No mermaid markers, no anything really. So I've got pencils, a couple of markers, my Zig Clean colors, a couple of washi tapes, some glue, my date stamp, my Midori stencils in the number, and my palette, my cloth, some pens, some glue, and my sprocket. So I am actually going pretty happy with that. The only thing I want to do is actually put a elastic band around my pencil. These pencils didn't. But I think that will be a really good choice. So what I will do is I will swatch out the pencils and things on camera for you guys so you can actually see, because it's pretty hard. And this is only a 16-minute video of me babbling. So I'll quickly swatch out all the colors that are in here and show you the tapes that I picked as well. And also the watercolors, which you've probably also seen, and I think there's brown ink in my Prera. I think. We'll see. But I'll quickly do that and just speed it up for you so that you don't have me babbling. But that is currently what's in my couch bag. It is a lot smaller than my Monster one. I realize now that I had other stamps in my last one. I had my colored stencils, like I had these in there last time. Obviously they don't fit. I had more colored pencils. I think I put Copic markers in there. Obviously can't do that because they're not going to fit. Plus my Copic markers are all beautifully in my Muji storage, and I only use them for collage sheets because they bleed through my journal. So that is what I am creating with for the next week with the journal, Day in the Life of the Journal Keeper series, which I am going to start today. But remember, ink is part of it. I'm just not putting ink in there. And actually, because I'm using ink, I'm actually going to put two of my, who are they by? I think they're by Dina Wakley brushes, because I do not want to use my watercolor brushes with my ink. But these are what I've been painting all the graphic patterns with and stuff. So if I want to paint with ink, I don't want to use my very fancy watercolor brushes. So I'm just trying to take care of my supplies. So yeah, let's get to swatching so you can see the color palette that I'm working with. Okay, I'm going to quickly jump in here now before I start creating. I'm actually going to create the spread of what's in my journal as a spread in my journal. Did that make sense? Oh my god, let me start again. I am going to make a spread about the contents and the swatches in my journal and title it Couch Bag, so I know that the next few pages will be made with my couch bag. And I'll probably scan those pages and actually pop them into my supply documentation book, because it's obviously a documentation of my supplies, but I didn't want to do it in both places. And these are something that you guys are going to get in your monthly printables on the weekend, and they're actually little boxes. Now what I want to do is I want to actually document each day what supplies I used out of the couch bag for my pages. So I'll probably, once I've documented all the things in the couch bag, the next spread will be I'm going to glue these little boxes down, and then that will be how I document what I use each day, and see if I don't create one of those days, that box will be empty. But I generally would like to write down like the color of something that I used, or just the supply. If it's a big heavy color day, like if I use a lot, then obviously I can't document every single color because the boxes are quite small. They're also really good for little daily drawing boxes in your journal. I actually was thinking of using them as a little box that I could put in the corner of my journal spread for things that I'm grateful for. But they are endless of what you could do with them. I just love the idea of them, so I decided to pop them But yeah, I ran out of card space. Story of my life. So that's what I'm going to do. I thought it'd be nice to sort of give you a little bit of a quick journal with me. Almost, but not really, but you get what I mean. It's, you know, one thing to talk about supplies, but it's another thing to actually show you them. So those will be popped onto next double spread. And now I'm going to speed up. And if I want to jump in and talk about what they are, I will put a voiceover in. There's like, some say yes, some say no, but we'll see. If there's like colors that I think you'll want to know or you'll ask me about, I'll actually say them, like the colors of my pencils, what brand, and the colors that I picked out of my Zig Clean colors, that sort of stuff. I will do a voiceover and talk about them. But it is time for me to get to creating. I have my cup of tea next to me. I have my couch bag. I've got my cup of water. The kids have gone back to school. It's nice and quiet. It's a good day, and because I need to get this finished, because I have the last of your collar sheets to finish scanning. Everything's done. I just need to scan and edit and clean up, and that is very time consuming, but it's the home stretch, and I know when I'm on the home stretch it's good. I just need many hours of staring at a computer screen. So I'm gonna get creating now and shut my mouth, and I will see you on the flip side. Actually, before I shut my mouth, I also want to see what you pop in your couch bags. I'm gonna make a couch bag thread in the Facebook group so we can talk all things couch bag. I know it's a big thing this month about using, or not this month, this year, about using your supplies and knowing what you have and trying not to bring too many things in. So that was one of the reasons why this series came back. Also, it was highly requested because everyone enjoyed it so much last time, and I enjoyed testing myself with a limited palette, and I normally create better with less stuff, which makes me stressy because it would mean that I could function better as an artist if I didn't have all the things. But we're not going to broach that subject just yet, are we?
Such a heartbeat pounding in your chest. The final hour before we let it go to rest. And in our story, in the story, if you make no promise, there's no regret. It's over by the time you finish your cigarette. We're so into blue skies, but we don't hear the thunder. We're dreaming about the past, but going under. We're going all for the better, we turn and walk away. All for the better, at least that's what they say. And now it's over, and now it's over. Wish we had done this, wish we had done that. Wait another minute and you're just a silhouette. So